Allie Feinberg at the Knoxville News Sentinel is reporting on a resolution that was advanced in the Knox County Commission. Now, we're going to look at the report from the Sentinel in just a minute, but it's important we start with the text of the resolution. A resolution in this context is a formal expression of opinion or intent voted by an official body or assembled group, in this case, the Knox County Board of Commissioners. There are 11 commissioners in Knox County, each representing a different area of the county. Rhonda Lee, the commissioner who has put forth this resolution, she represents District 7, which is basically Powell, Halls, and High School. Here's the text of the resolution. Whereas the future of Knox County, Tennessee relies on the health and well-being of its children and young people, and whereas children are our greatest treasure and our most vulnerable population, we must always weigh the risk of harm to children in public policy decisions. And whereas we value integrity and excellence and will not trade the innocence of our children for other governmental goals, and whereas protecting the innocence of children should be an issue of concern for all adults, and whereas adults and children are increasingly over-sexualized in our nation, state, and county, and whereas, according to a recent Tennessee Department of Health report titled Sexual Violence, there were over 1,798 counts of sexual assault victims in Knox County from 2016 to 2020, with 944 of those cases, which is over half, being under the age of 18. And whereas, according to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, the average age of a child sold for sex is 13 years old, and human trafficking is the second fastest growing criminal industry. And whereas the exposure to and normalization of sexualized behaviors reduces children's inhibitions and ability to protect themselves from the sexual advances of others, and whereas children learn from observing and subsequently acting out the behaviors they have observed, children who have observed sexualized behaviors or who have been the victim of sexual assault may act out with other children at home or school, which may lead to additional child victims. And whereas the normalization of sexualized behaviors and content to children is not in the long-term interest of children or society, wholesome, good, and honorable content and activities should be promoted to children instead. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Commission of Knox County as follows. The Knox County Board of Commissioners is committed to protecting the innocence of children and to cultivating healthy children, families, communities, and institutions. Be it further resolved, the Knox County Commission neither supports nor approves of activities, programs, events, content, or institutions which support, normalize, or encourage the sexualization of children and youth. Be it further resolved, the board encourages individuals and communities to promote the good and the honorable to children rather than the normalization of sexual behaviors, protecting the health and well-being of our children and the future of our county. Be it further resolved that if any notifications are to be made to effectuate this resolution, then the county clerk is hereby requested to forward a copy of this resolution to the proper authority. Be it further resolved that this resolution is to take effect from and after its passage and provided by the Charter of Knox County, Tennessee, the public welfare requiring it. So it should be pretty obvious what this resolution is about. In case you haven't been paying any attention in this country, like an ostrich with its head buried in the sand, you surely recognize the particular sexualization of minors and children has dramatically spiked in the onslaught of the transgender ideology, whether that be transvestitism or transsexualism. Rhonda Lee from District 7 is declaring that the county will stand against this evil, which is amazing to hear. But this is just a resolution. Now, let's see what Allie reported. Lee said the purpose of the resolution is for the body to make a statement, not to dictate what residents can and can't do. It doesn't do anything to change the crime, Lee said. The article also says, while it does list statistics about sexual assault and human trafficking, it doesn't explicitly say what sexualized behaviors Lee is referring to. Well, we obviously know what it's referring to, and it's not just one thing. We're also seeing a rise in pedophilia and a push for the normalization of such, like calling pedophiles minor attracted person. It's talking about drag queen story hours. It's talking about children's exposure to pride events. It's talking about the medical malpractice of transgender clinicians and puberty manipulation, mutilization and castration. It's talking about classroom content and what teachers can say and do. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to put that together. To sexualize is to make something sexual that isn't. Children, the innocent, are not to be treated as sexual objects. That is disgusting and evil, which should be offensively prevented and defeated. I'm saying preemptively instead of reactionary. But the article goes on. Commissioner Larson J. questioned Lee's intent and whether the resolution was a precursor to restricting library programs or dictating what the county health department can and can't do. Lee said that was not her intention. The only vote against the resolution was from Courtney Durrett, who said she obviously was against the sexualization of children, but was concerned the resolution was a gateway to other policies. What does that even mean? I don't think Courtney knows what's even going on. Maybe she'll see this segment and find out. And by the way, she represents the Fountain City area. Now, the article concludes by saying the commission will meet again on September 25th. That's this coming Monday to vote on the resolution. So if you don't live in the Halls-Powell area where Rhonda Lee's district is, call or email your commissioner today, and tell them to pass this resolution. Go to commission.knoxcountytn.gov, commission.knoxcountytn.gov, to see your list of commissioners, because we should indeed protect our county's children. As a Christian, there's nothing wrong. In fact, there's everything good about swearing allegiance to the American flag. Why is that? Because of the virtues of which the flag flies. It speaks to our providential founding and has been, for nearly 200 years, a symbol of freedom to those who seek it. You can fly the American flag with pride from your front porch or out in the front yard. You can even hang one on the wall in the house or the garage, the office, or wherever you wish. I recommend getting a flag that will last and withstand the weather throughout the seasonal changes of the year. So, check out the flag supplies at Allegiance Flags. Check the link in the show notes or go over to readthefreeshow.com for more. Military and first responders get 10% off your order.